It's always fun when a friend comes into town. And more fun when you get to go shopping. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. Well, I did almost nothing in here this week. I said it would happen, and it kind of did. Work was one of those insane weeks, a combination of clothes starting and, it was quartering clothes. And the project work that I have been working on has made everything insane. In short, yeah, crazy. There were several days that I ended up having to work late. And by late, I mean like 10 p.m. So, yeah, not happy. I will definitely be glad on Tuesday when my boss gets back because then I don't have to do her job and mine. On the fun part, though, a friend of mine was in town this weekend. That was just very exciting. He and his boyfriend arrived late on Thursday evening while I was still working. So I didn't get to see them then. Friday, they spent the day downtown. They went to the Georgia Aquarium and the World of Coke. So they had a whole bunch of fun. I made sure to tell them to try the Beverly because that's what everybody has to try at the World of Coke. I was told that the face that was made by the boyfriend was hysterical, just because, you don't know what to expect with that. They had a lot of fun at both the venues. I wish I was able to have been there, but, work takes a little bit of priority at times. And I was given virtually no notice that they were coming into town. They got to my house while I was out picking up Riley. Luckily, the friend knows how to get into my house because he had been my roommate for a while. So he still has the codes and everything to get into the house, even though he's not in the area. When I finally got home with Riley, I was still on a conference call because those folks at work did something crazy, messed things up. Hopefully, I think it got resolved. I ended up dropping the call at that point because it seemed like they were on the verge of having it resolved, and I couldn't do anything anyway. We got into the house, and Riley was so excited to see folks around that she could say hi to. It was just hilarious because I still had her on the leash, and she's just like, "I want to go say hi. I want to go say hi. I want to go say hi." And it was amusing, and it's to the point where I now know what would happen if somebody does break into my house. The key is I'll lose everything. For dinner on Friday, we went to the OK Cafe. It was okay, which usually it's better than okay. I had high hopes for my burger until I bit into it, and it was practically raw. It was way underdone. They did redo it and everything, so that was kind of them. And the waitress said, dessert is on her. I'm like, okay, nice. The replacement came out, and it was much better. It was tasty and everything. Probably shouldn't have had a burger because I don't normally do burgers, but hey, it was still tasty. When the free dessert came out, though, I was a little disappointed. And I said, I can't eat that. And she asked why, and I said, it's chocolate. I can't eat most chocolates. I can have M&Ms all I want, and I can do like Reese's cups and stuff like that, but I can't eat a Hershey bar, and I can't eat a lot of those chocolate cakes or chocolate brownies and stuff because it does not react well with me. Kind of disappointing that she didn't bring out a different dessert, but hey, it was free. I'm told it was tasty, and I would have risked it if we didn't have plans on Saturday. So yeah, it was whatever. Just a little irk that I couldn't have the free dessert that was promised. Saturday, though, that was fun. Which I just realized yesterday was Saturday. It's been a long week. The reason why my friend came into town was so that he could pick up an embroidery machine that he bought from a mutual friend of ours. He drove here to get it. I guess he has plans to use it over the next handful of weeks in order to do whatever he's planning. So he drove here. He came, picked me up in the morning. It was like 9 a.m. We got a quick bite for breakfast and we drove up to Cumming to get it. It was picked up. It was a really cool looking machine and everything. No, wait, I didn't get to see the machine. So I'm going to pretend it's a cool looking machine. It was a Husqvarna that he picked up. I think he was told it only has about 48 hours of use time on it. So yeah, I guess he got a really good deal. While we were up there, there is a really awesome quilt shop that basically has everything you might be looking for. The shop name is Threadbare Fabrics, and I'm going to be throwing a link down below into the description box so that you can try to visit and maybe give them some shopping. They have over 30,000 bolts that they advertise on their website. And I'm going to tell you, it is a lot of fabric. They are now up to 3 storefronts in the shopping plaza that they're in. 2 of them are 100% fabric now. The third shop that they just are almost having open is going to be focused on thread and their classroom. But they still had a lot of bolts in there right now. They're trying to shift things around. So with the moving of thread into the third storefront, it made it a little less claustrophobic than normal. But again, they have everything. I managed to buy a handful of fabrics that I needed for a upcoming project. I also found a couple things that I didn't need but couldn't resist. I do have this rule of if I pick it up 3 times, then it is required for me to buy it. So yeah, that ended up being purchased. I will show everything that I purchased this weekend a little bit later in the video, so stay tuned for that. We ended up eating lunch at Zaxby's. I guess the whole ordeal was we were going to be doing Georgia-specific foods while they were in town because the boyfriend hadn't been to Georgia yet. So Zaxby's, it's delicious, and it was next to the quilt shop. After that, we headed back to my neck of the woods and we visited the quilt shop that is closer to me, the one that I go to for my Saturday sampler and everything. It doesn't have as many fabrics, but what they do have, like that, they have a lot more kits than the other one, and they're just organized a little bit differently, so you can see a whole lot more of everything that's going on. I have a project that I am planning for a family member. I knew exactly which fabric I wanted, and it was there. I couldn't find anything similar up at Threadbare, but it was available at the other shop, which is called Tiny Stitches, but they don't really have an online presence, so I don't really have a big advertising spiel for them. When I got there, like I said, I went directly to where the fabric was. That was going to be the focal point of the project. I picked up the bolt and I was just browsing around to figure out what I was going to do with it. The pattern that I had going on in my head, I changed about 3 or 4 times while I was looking at fabrics, just because, you see something, you get inspired a different way, or you see something else, you get a little bit different. So after I figured out what I needed, I brought it up to the counter. I got everything cut. I also managed to remember to pick up my block of the month this time. So I have everything picked up from there that I needed. We were pretty exhausted at that point because I had been up since 6:30-ish, because I have an inability to sleep in. And running around and all, like, you get overwhelmed with fabric if you've done things like that. I know people do shop hops. I know there's a bunch of them going on right now, and I remember doing one of them, forget how many years ago now, and it's a different energy, and you can get exhausted just staring at fabrics. Got home about 3, and like I said, exhausted. I took Riley around the block so that she can get her potty going, and I laid down on the couch for a little bit. I don't think I fell asleep exactly, even though I tried. Little naps here and there would be good, but I don't know why I can't nap lately. Live at 5 p.m. last night, though, I was on with my friend Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches, where we worked on a pumpkin. It was a really cool project. In fact, right here is the pumpkin that I did. I kind of giggled because as I was given the cutting instructions, I was like, something doesn't look right here. I feel like we're missing a 2.5-inch square. And once we got to the point where my missing 2.5-inch square appeared, not as a 2.5-inch square, I was like, that's what's going on. And that's how it was. So it was a fun pattern to do. She has the cutting instructions on her blog, and I'm going to have the link to the video that we did before. The link to the video below. Words again hard. There's no official pattern for it, but the video, it does explain step by step everything that you need to do. These are very basic steps that you need to do. It's essentially it's just a whole bunch of snowballing and then putting the pieces together, and again making sure you put the pieces in the right area. Otherwise, you're gonna have a missing 2.5-inch square. It took us about an hour to do on her live, which means you can probably do this in 30 to 45 minutes if you're not as chitty chatty as we were. So I really recommend, going to her video, going to her blog, and figuring out, not figuring out, but cutting up the stuff. The biggest pieces that you need are the pumpkin and the background. So a lot of this can probably be done with scraps if you have a whole bunch of cool scraps coming around. A lot of people have their favorite background that they love to use, and you can use almost anything for the pumpkin. If any of you did so with us, I would love to know what you are going to be doing with your pumpkins. If you want to leave a comment below, that would be awesome. I'm going to end up turning mine into a wall hanging, and I have a couple more that I want to do just to give out as gifts. So that's going to be a really fun project. Today, I haven't had a lot of time in here yet. I managed to sleep in until 9:45 somehow. That was also after waking up at 6:30 for a little bit, and then I just turned the TV on to I Love Lucy, and like in and out of sleep until 9:45, and that was just a little bit refreshing. I did end up watching a really cool announcement this morning from my friends Shannon of Slate Arts, Stephen of Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, Sean from The Guy Who Sews, and Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches, or as they're being known for this collab, the 4S is. It took me a minute to figure out what Stephen was referencing, and that's kind of amusing of what it could be. But no, they're S's. I know them. I've chatted with them a lot, and definitely they're just an S. They are doing basically a choose your own adventure style thing where it's actually us choosing their adventure. I ended up voting on each of their community tab pages to just for my vote of what they should be working on. Everybody needs to go do that. They have like a day and a half left from, I think, with this video. It's a really short voting period, but all the projects that they picked look awesome. I can't wait to see what actually wins for the voting. I'm hoping that what I picked wins. And I'm definitely excited to see what ends up coming out of it, because, the way that the patterns are and the colorways that the pattern is written for, is rarely ever what we end up picking as quilters as to what should happen in a project. So I'm just really excited to see what everybody's going to have in store for us. My boss is going to be back this week on Tuesday, unless she decides not to come back. She keeps joking. So I know that I'm going to have a crazy Monday, and hopefully the first couple days that she gets back are going to be lightly crazy as she starts to take back over the stuff that she's supposed to be responsible for. And I'm hoping that by the end of the week, I can start to, I'm going to say, relax by not having to be doing her job and mine. Again, it's quarter end close, so I got through the first couple of days of it. Tomorrow, Monday, is going to be the official ledger close date. So that one is going to be, again, intense for me. And then hopefully she can take care of all the admin stuff after that. The first thing that I know that I will be doing this week when it comes in here is pumpkins. I showed you the pumpkins a minute ago. And I want to do a couple more of these. I'm hoping to start working on them as this video is encoding. And I will be also watching Stephen and Walter live this afternoon, which, is going to be before this video is published, but after I record it and wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. Next on my list is the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt. Clue 3 was shipped this past Friday, and because I paid for my project in advance, I got it emailed to me. So I am in possession of Clue 3 and the fabrics for Clue 3. So at some point, I'm going to work on it. If everything is going as planned, I'm going to stay caught up with it by sewing it with the crew on Quilting with Stephanie Stitch's channel this coming Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you are doing the Cotton Cuts Carnival and want to join us, you can pop up on her channel at 5 o'clock and sew with us. That's going to be a lot of fun. I also do have a Saturday sampler block that is in my queue. Saturday sampler is the first or third Saturday of the month. I usually do the third Saturday because it lowers the pressure just a little bit, even though if I always do the first Saturday, it's still the same number of weeks. Either way, first Saturday is always a lot of people. So I'd rather go on the third Saturday so that it's not a lot of people. I'm planning on hopefully trying to get the cutting done this week because there's a lot of pieces to cut, as we know are with some of the really awesome Lori Holt specialty projects. And I'm going to be in love with this project. So Just kind of excited. There is also the Socialites finishing triangles. I showed last week that I got all of the quarter square triangles done, or sewn. They need to be trimmed down to the finishing size. And then I have, I think it's 32 half square triangles that need to be sewn up and trimmed down. So I have like everything ready. They just need to be run through my sewing machine and cut and trimmed. Hoping to get that done because once I get those finishing triangles trimmed down, then I can start piecing everything together. And it's a really detailed piecing diagram. So I can just follow it piece by piece to get everything in there. And then I will have a quilt top done. I don't know when it's going to get done yet, but it's in my plans on having it done soon. I have quite a bit of new stuff to share. As I told you, I did some shopping yesterday, and the friend of mine who came to visit also gave me a little bit of a goodie bag. So it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for some of this stuff for me. Before I do share, I do have a little bit of a disclosure. I probably don't know the fabric designer nor fabric lines for most of these, especially the stuff on the goodie bag. What I do know, I will let you know. But what I'm really saying is don't get your hopes up for fabric information if you really like some of these things that I am sharing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the really cool bag of stuff that a friend of mine gave me. Excuse me. The first thing is apparently it's a game. He and his boyfriend went to Gen Con this past year, which is a gaming convention. Forget where it is. One of my coworkers usually goes, but he didn't go this year. This is called Chicken. Don't know what this is yet. It's got a sign, a slogan on here that says "Real chickens hatch eggs, avoid foxes." No, I'm sorry, roll chickens. So it looks like it's probably a dice game or something, a clucking fun family dice game. So don't know anything about this yet, but I will find out soon. Hopefully, he said that they had bought a handful of stuff that they were going to give out as Christmas gifts, but he unfortunately got laid off from his employer. He already has a new job. Don't worry about it. So the Christmas gifts that he was going to give, he's now giving to family and friends. The next thing is, it looks like it is similar, or maybe it's a chicken add-on thing. The wood scenery pack, a perfect for bringing your game of chicken to life. So not really certain what this is, but again, it goes with chicken. I guess this is another thing. It's an egg expansion. Ha ha ha. So I'm guessing this is more expansions to the game. I really do like cool games that can have expansion packs and stuff. A handful of years ago, I was introduced to a card game called Flux, which is a game that when you start playing, it has no rules, except for I think it's draw one, play one, or draw one, play one, or something like that. And as you play the game, you build what the rules are using the cards that you have, and then the rules can change as you play cards. So it's just really amusing how that game can expand, and it does have expansion packs for what you have. So I really love when you can take one game and just make it into bigger stuff. Digging more in here, he gave me a 6.5-inch Creative Grids ruler. I already have one of these, but the 6.5-inch size you could probably never have too many of. I think I'm going to put this in my go bag, as Shannon has called it. And that way I have something to take, especially in December when I go on the retreat. So I am excited about this. Now I can get into the fabric stuff. This is a couple Laurel Birch charm packs. These are gorgeous, and I can say that already because I have done a fabric kit in Laurel Birch, not a kit, but a pattern. It was 2 years ago now. I'm going to throw a picture here, that just to show you a quick picture of what it is. It's one of my favorite quilts, and I am excited that I have more Laurel Birch fabric. I don't know what to do with it yet, but we will see. Oops, pardon the noise. Oh, there's more charm packs in here. Another 2 Laurel Birch charm packs. So, yeah, I've got 4 Laurel Birch charm packs now to figure out what I'm going to do with them. And then the rest of everything looks to be Cutso stuff. This is a gorgeous batik. Don't know who it's from, but I love these colors. He and I, we are a pair that we know whose colors and what colors are what. He is very much a traditional piecing, or not piecing, pattern. So he likes a lot of the Civil War colors, the browns and tans and dark, deep reds and stuff. And I'm more the brights. So when we go shopping, we know what to point out to each other as, inspiration, or, you need to buy this. He did say while we were out, I was like, look at all the beautiful Everglow over here. And he goes, I don't like Everglow. I said, yes, I know that. And that's why we work well together, because you would have pointed that out to me, and I would have pointed out to you this other stuff, which you end up getting half a yard of everything with. This fabric looks gorgeous. I don't know what I would do with it yet, but I'm going to have to start thinking. Let me see if I can see a selvage quickly. Looking at the selvage, and there is no name on it, so no clue. This one I have to say I like better because it's got more purples in it. Anybody who has watched the channel enough knows I like a little bit of purple. This, I think, is part of a fat quarter bundle that he got. I don't know. I love these 2 fat quarters. Actually, no, this isn't what I thought it was, but these are really cool. This is what I think I knew what it was, and I may not be able to show all of them because there's a lot of pieces. He had bought a fat quarter bundle to do a project with, a Halloween project, and I think he gave me the leftovers. I think that's what he said this is. So I'm going to open up this one, and maybe he just bought a whole bunch of fat 8s of something, because these don't look like they've been partially used. He said this is the fabric that he talked about, but again, it's not what I would expect to see. Now I'm going to have to fold all these fat 8s. Ooh, I like this one. Love me these like purplish colors. This is a fat 8th of what appears that thing, and it's Laurel Birch, and it's called Celestial Magic. So maybe he bought me a fat 8th of a fabric line. Here is another, and I am loving this. Now I'm going to have to start looking at my fat 8th patterns. Oh, this is gorgeous. I love this. And then just as I said that, we have even better. I do not know what I'm going to do with this yet, but I am now officially intrigued as to what I will do. There is this, which again, I'm loving these. I'm guessing Laurel Birch is going to be in my list of folks that when they get stuff released, I'm going to have to look into. I'm loving this shade as well. I don't know what's going on, but this is gorgeous. Okay, I know I said I wasn't going to show them all, but I am going to show them all. We have this as well. Lots of fun. And then, oh, another purple. This is probably my favorite that I've seen come out, even though it's like almost a blender. Another of the stripy thing in another colorway. The constellations in a purple on black. I love this. The dots with a black background. This is stars on a bluey purple. The moon and stars on a blue. And then finally this one. So that's the fat 8s that are in there. And then, oh wow, a panel. Let's see, I probably only show part of it. This definitely is gorgeous. Let me flip to the other side. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I am going to have a lot of fun. Thank you, David, for giving me this. That is going to be a fun project when I figure out what I'm going to do. With Threadbare, I said that I made purchases, so let me grab those real quick. This is everything. So the first thing that I purchased is, this is going to be the backing for the project that I said that I was planning. I managed to find backing that I really loved for that. And then this is going to the binding. Again, it's a surprise project, so I haven't even planned it yet. I can just show you what the fabrics are that I picked. While I was there, I saw this purple batik. It said, hey, Russ, you need to buy me. So I bought it. Also, a little bit of a Tula fan, as we all know. So I managed to get a couple yards of this fabric. It is going to be the backing for a project that I have coming up soon. So I now can say I officially have everything for that project except binding. I just realized I don't have the binding for it. I get to go shopping again. Back to said, actually, before I do said mystery project, I also found this gorgeous rainbow swirly spacey fabric that I just couldn't part with, or I wouldn't say part with, I couldn't leave behind. So I got to cut with that. And then back to the stuff that I bought for the project that I have coming up. I have this batik. These batiks are all Hoffman batiks. So if you're looking for specific shades, that's what they are going to be. I bought this one, which is also going to go well with it. This gorgeous red. I'm replacing one of the other cuts that I previously purchased with this because I think I like this better. This brownish gold, which is going to go really well with what I have. And then there's a couple other colors in here. They stack and whack a handful at a time. This gold is going to go with it. And then this way. This, I'm going to call it a bluish gray. Really, some of these are upside down, some of these are upside right. This is another like darker grayish, bluish. This one is definitely a medium-ish gray. I think this is going to go perfect with it. And then this one I'm going to call a really light gray. So those are the batiks that I bought. And then there was one thing, as I said earlier, I put it down, I picked it up, I put it down, I picked it up. It is this kit. And this is the back, which shows one of the panels. The project it is called Underwater Rainbow. This one, I just love the colors. I loved the fabrics that I saw, and it was a really good price. It looks like it's going to be fairly easy to do because it is, what is that word? A panel that is half the blocks. And then as I looked at the instructions for the other half, you're just doing a smaller star unit that is traditional, everybody knows how to do. And then the far outside is basically a strip piece with a snowball that you're doing. So it's a very easy pattern, and the only fussy cutting is done probably mostly for the center blocks because the panel is already designed for everything. So I'm really excited to be able to do that. And then, as I said, I went to one other shop and I picked up my block of the month. So I have, what month is this? 7. And I haven't opened up the first one. Don't tell anybody. But then I got a couple cuts of fabric. This fabric is what I went there intentionally for as the focus of the project that I am planning. And then I bought 4 grunge pieces to go with it. There is this really beautiful dark pink, light red, whatever we want to call it. I have a gorgeous yellow, a really awesome teal, and a purple because, you know, I like to have purple in anything that I can. So I got to get that drawn up and figure out what I did or what I'm going to do with it and start getting that pieced. So yeah, I had a really, really awesome haul. Some of, like I said, is just gifts to me, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this gorgeous fabric. And then the other stuff, everything has a plan or will have a plan in fairly soon. So that is about it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you want, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. It doesn't cost anything and really helps the channel grow. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day and a superb week. Until next time, stay happy and keep stitching.